Scandinavian Bob here, hi. Today we are going to talk about the dark sides of NoFap. You see, there are a few things NoFap can do to guys that are, well, not good. It doesn't happen to all the guys out there, but if you recognize yourself in any of these, I seriously hope you do something about it. So stay with me all the way to the end of this video because you need to know about these dark sides. Back in 2012, when I first discovered rebooting and NoFap, I joined a rebooting forum, and over there I also had my online journal where I, counted days and wrote down my progress and so on. Now the journal section was structured in a way that guys could support each other and write comments under the journal updates. And because a lot of us were really supportive, it was also easy to make friends over there. But I quickly discovered something frightening, and that was that some guys got completely obsessed with rebooting. But not only that, they also put their lives on hold. For example, one guy wanted to have a normal life, getting a girlfriend and building a family. But since he had experienced a couple of failed attempts in the bedroom before he found rebooting, he was now completely obsessed with numbers, and he had set a goal to reach 180 days before he could start dating again. Now, in a way that's understandable, as when reading about how rebooting from adult sites can take a long time, many of us would want to make sure we are completely good to go before we try again, because, well, failing is embarrassing, and we think that might also make us lose the girl, and so on. But here's the problem. For most guys, rebooting is a process where there will be some periods of relapses. We build some good streaks and then we relapse. And we get going again and go for about 8 weeks, and so we relapse again, and so on. Well, you know what? That is actually okay. If someone goes 60 days and he relapses, but then he gets right back up without binging, he is still making progress. But the guy on the forum was dead set on his goal. He felt he needed to reach 180 days free from adult sites before he could start dating and rewiring with real women. And since most guys keep relapsing like I just described, sure enough, so did this guy. He would go maybe 45 days and then reset, and then perhaps go 15 days and then reset, and then maybe 65 days and so on. And for every time he relapsed, he would beat himself up and feel terrible. For those of you who know my story, you know that I also relapsed for several years before I finally got the hang of it. But I avoided putting my life on hold during my reboot, and so I dated from time to time. However, since it took me many years to master the art of NoFap, I also spent several years on that forum, and I kept seeing this guy and how he kept relapsing, all while putting his life on hold. Some of us, myself included, said to him that, hey man, you need to start doing something else in life, because the only thing you are doing right now is obsessing over the number 180. But no, he was dead set on reaching 180, and he had completely put his life on hold. Well, as the time went on, I started to do better and I left the forum. But here is the really sad part. A few years later, I went back there just to see if the forum was still active. And I guess you already know what I'm about to say. Yeah, that's right. I saw that same guy still posting over there, and he still hadn't reached that 180-day goal. This made me so sad because this was several years later and he was still putting his life on hold. And he had so many semi-long streaks that when adding those streaks up, if he would have kept dating, he would have rewired and been 100% functional in the bedroom for years by now. And I think you can see how this can be really destructive. So yeah, one dark side of NoFap is that it makes some guys completely put their life on hold. And he wasn't alone either, because many guys stare themselves blind by the number of that day counter. There were many guys who felt they weren't confident enough to start their life dreams, and there were others who felt they needed to reach 90 days before starting to work on themselves in other areas of their life. And this is so completely backwards and destructive. So please, please, please guys, do not put your life on hold, because before you know it, you can have wasted many years. Yes, it is true that all the years of using adult sites has put a lot of us guys back by causing many different problems. But if you put your entire life on hold just to reach a specific number of days on a counter, you are going at it the wrong way. So get out there and start living your life while you are doing NoFap and while you are doing other self-improvement stuff. Another dark side of NoFap is irritability, aggressiveness, and frustration caused by increased energy. Now this one can also be a benefit if you handle it right, but some guys do not realize that when retaining there will be an increase in energy, and that energy needs to be channeled in some way. If you don't have goals or a life purpose you are working on, and you are just doing NoFap for the sake of doing NoFap, and watching Netflix and playing video games, then for a lot of guys all that energy increase is just frustrating. It can make them extremely irritable, make them stressed, cause insomnia and even panic attacks for some guys. Well, this is a clear sign that you have built up energy but you have not been channeling it, and so it starts to spill over, causing you negative symptoms like that. For some guys this is more noticeable than for others, and next week I will make a video on how you can channel your NoFap energy in other ways as well besides working on your goals, so stay tuned for that one. And if you are one of the guys who for some reason has put his life on hold, please get out there and start living life. If you are worried about your performance in the bedroom, then yes, obviously you should be rebooting. But the main thing is to stay away from pixels on a screen and not to stay away from real life girls. Who cares if you have a couple of bad performances in the beginning? Just keep going. It will get better. And if you want to try something that I used myself during my reboot, then take a look at a video I made a while back where I talk about something that really helped for my own performance, and I actually found it to be really helpful even though I was in the middle of my reboot. You can see that video on the screen right here. Just click on that and it'll take you there. This is Scandinavian Bob signing out for today, and as always I wish you all the best in your journey to become the strongest version of yourself. And remember, if you're going through hell, keep going.